All right, so I was actually right in the middle of working on what was supposed to be the next video for this series, diving into all the other possible New York connections in the GNX album and tour. But then I saw this. So I opened up Twitter, and the first thing I see is this tweet of a supposed new leak of an unreleased Kendrick track from the GNX era. And I did some digging and found this Reddit thread, which I think is the original source. Now, if you listen to the track and look at the header, we see it's titled Boom and features J-Rock, Ray Vaughn, and a mystery artist. So if you haven't seen the previous videos in the series, I would suggest you go check them out to get all the context. But in short, the theory is that Kendrick Lamar and pgLang are planning to debut a brand new artist, similar to how they debuted Imani Imani, and that the artist is likely from New York. We've made multiple connections to New York from the pgLang mood board and Squabble Up music video, and it mainly stems from this image on the mood board of an unknown name written in the same handwriting that Kendrick, Baby Keem, and Imani's names are written, right above the Ready to Die album cover by Biggie. We've made some possible connections to what this name could be, including Tana Leone and a Brooklyn artist named Henry Martin, but obviously nothing concrete yet. Now, there are some other pretty interesting connections from the mood board to New York, like the Ready to Die album cover right under what could be a mystery artist name. This photo of Casey Stengel, who was the manager for the New York Yankees, who holds the record for the most consecutive World Series wins with 5, and is the only person in baseball history to have played for or managed all 4 New York baseball franchises. The Yankees, Mets, Giants, and Dodgers, who represent all 4 boroughs of New York City. And Stengel also played against Babe Ruth, who was a main reference in the Sandlot movie, which is also on the board. And for the sake of this theory, the main hypothesis that we're going off of is that all of their planned artists for pgLang are on this board, even if they haven't debuted yet. And that was confirmed because even though this was posted in October of 2023, Imani's name is on the board, and they did not debut her until 2026. So I think it's pretty clear that this handwriting represents the names of their artists, and the board seems to be a cryptic way of foreshadowing their plans. So this must just be divine timing or something, because I've made all these videos in the last few days, and now you're telling me that there's a mystery artist featured on a new leak of an unreleased Kendrick track, supposedly from the GNX era? It's a fire track, by the way. I'll link the tweet and the Reddit post in the description. But let's take a listen to the hook.
What you gonna do when you grow up? Another year pass, you ain't show up. Your hands don't work, better get down. I hear you got a name, okay, so what? Let's get to it. Turn a big mouth to a Pop-Tart. It's either rock bottom or a rock star. The hate and the love go side to side. The hate and the love go side to side.
Here comes the boom, 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 here comes the boom.
Does that sound familiar to anybody? Check this out.
Here comes the boom, here comes the boom, here comes the boom, boom, here comes the boom.
All right, so if you watch part 4, you've seen that Kendrick made a DMX reference to Where the Hood At in the 3rd verse of Squabble Up.
H-bone coon from the west side to Senegal. It's a full moon, let the wolves out, I've been a dog.
Know how to be one way, that's the dog.
And we saw that this track was in the movie Belly, which was set and filmed in Queens and starred Nas, DMX, Method Man, and Terrell Hicks, who are all from New York. So now you're telling me that there's a mystery artist featured on a GNX era Kendrick track interpolating a DMX track from Belly?
Here comes the boom, 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 here comes the boom. What you gonna do when you grow up? Another year pass, you ain't show up. Your hands don't work, better get out. I hear you got a name, okay, so what? Let's get to it.
Nah, man, I feel like I'm either going crazy or there actually might be something here. I've mentioned it in the comment section a few times already on some of the other videos that while it does seem pretty unlikely that the artist is Henry Martin specifically, I think there are way too many New York connections to ignore. Now, of course, New York is the birthplace of hip hop, is a central cultural hub for music and the arts, and was where Kendrick recorded GNX at the Electric Lady Studios. But we did reference the phrase on the Squabble Up letterboard that said everything is something. So I think that all these connections could be pointing us somewhere. But as always, drop a comment and let me know what you think. What do you think of the track? Who do you think this artist is, or who do you think he sounds like? Are all these New York connections just coincidental? Like I said at the beginning, I am working on a video covering all the other New York connections in GNX, so stay tuned for that. But drop a comment and let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching.
Here comes the boom, 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 here comes the boom. What you gonna do when you grow up? Another year pass, you ain't show up. Your hands don't work, better get out. I hear you got a name, okay, so what? Let's get to it.
Here comes the boom. Violent faces, serotonin laced with godly vibrations. Rules of engagement, stay dangerous. Peace to the motherland. Our praises.